Okay, good day, my dear grade 8 students. We are in the last phase of learning, of course, for this school year 2020-2021. So, let us have this lesson, our last lesson for this school year. And please focus on understanding the lesson. Okay, so let's start with lesson 12, creating and running macros. Okay, so what is macro? Okay, a macro is a set of actions that can be run automatically without the user going through the step-by-step process. This is helpful for routine work that you want to run automatically when an event takes place. Okay, so for example, you had created your data sheet on your Microsoft Access, and then you had created your form, you had created your reports, your queries. Okay, your different forms such as basic form, multiple form, or split form. Okay, so you had created those objects. And then on the next day, your boss told you that you need to add a particular records. Okay, di ba? As I discussed to you that Microsoft Access was used or it is used for a long database. Okay, long records. So, if you have already created your form using the datasheet, you have created your form, basic form, plain form, split form, you had created your queries, you had created your reports, and then bigla kang binigyan ng boss mo ng another records to put on your datasheet. So meaning you need to create another form, another queries, and another report para madagdag yung records doon sa bawat object na yon. Okay? So with the use of macro, sabi dyan, with the use of macro, it will run automatically without the user going through the step-by-step process. So, hindi mo na kailangang ulit-ulitin pang gumawa ulit ng form, gumawa ulit ng queries, gumawa ulit ng report. Okay? Kasi may dinagdag kang records eh. So, that is the purpose or that is the advantage of using macro in Microsoft Access. Okay, creating macros. Okay, so we do have the steps in creating the macros from your book. That is page 242 to 243, creating and running macros. Okay, on the Create tab, click the macro icon. Okay, and then for the first action, click the drop-down menu and select your first action. In this example, you can choose Open Form. And on the bottom pane, select the form name you want to open. In this example, you can choose Customers Form. For the second action, click the drop-down menu. So you may follow the steps from your book, page 242 to 243. And then I will put the video or the demo on how to create and run macros after this. Okay. Okay, in creating your contacts table or your database for your contacts, of your relatives, families, and friends. Okay, of course, go to the view command for you to be able to put your field name. Okay, on the design view, on the field name column, put your field name such as name, contacts, and address. And then for the data type, of course, let us put short text only. Okay, and then go back to the datasheet view and then start putting your records. And then, once you are done creating your database of your contacts of your friends, relatives, and classmates, okay, so you may start creating your form. Okay, using the contacts table or contact database, go to the Create tab and select form, the plain form only or the basic form only. And then once you have created your form, just go back to the Create tab and look for the icon macro from the macros and codes group. Okay, select macro and then follow the step from your book. The second step is for the first action. Click the drop-down menu and select your first action. In this example, you can choose the Open Form. Okay, click this drop-down button and then look for the Open Form. Open Form. Then once the open form dialog box appear, select on the bottom of the pane, select the form name you want to open. In this example, you can choose Customers Form. Okay, so ang ating i-open is our contacts form. Okay, contacts form, view. So, naka-form tayo sa ating view. And then, on the form name, let us have the customer's form. Okay, so we need to save first our created form so that it will appear on our macro. Okay, save our form to contact. And then, okay, so let me enter another records for us to see clearly the purpose of using macro. So I will add another records for the name. I will add BB Jink Guzman. Okay. And then, as you may remember, wala akong inilagay na BB Jink Guzman na name sa ating datasheet. Take a look at our records here sa datasheet natin. Walang BB Jink dito. So, sa AutoXC natin ilalagay si BB Jink. Ulitin ko lang ulit. BB Jink. Contacts, for example, address, Sariaya, Quezon. Okay, and then, okay, as you can see, okay, napa-add na yung ating added records, which are the BB Guzman, BB Jink Guzman, BB Jink Guzman, kanina, yung ginawa natin. Okay. As you may remember, wala naman akong inilagay na record as BB Jink Guzman, the contacts and the address. But using the AutoXC macro, created or napadagdag na si BB Jink Guzman using macro. So what is the purpose of using macro? Okay, in using macro, if you want to add another record, di ba? As I discussed to you that Microsoft Access is used for long database. Okay? So meaning if you want to add another records and you need to form or create another form, in adding records, for example mayroon ka nang nagawang records at nagawan mo na siya ng form. And then on the other day, biglang nagpadagdag sa iyo ng records. So ibig sabihin, you need to go to the datasheet view to add the other records and then create another form para mapadagdag sa form yung added records natin. Okay, in using macro, you don't need to create another form for you to be able to add another records from the data sheet. Okay, so using macro, makakapagdagdag ka na ng records without creating another form. Okay, pakikita ko lang ulit using, for example, Luningning. Okay, number, for example, an address, Sariaya. Okay, as you can see, wala siya sa ating datasheet. Si Luningning, Sariaya. Okay, so wala siya dyan. Okay, and using macro, punta lang tayo dito sa ating AutoXC na. Andyan yung ating dinagdag kanina. Nasa number 16 na bigla siya napalagay. Okay, and then go to the file. Okay, and then close. And then file. I-open mo ulit yung file mo na merong dinagdag, yung file mo with macro, and then go to the contacts with the datasheet and look for the word na records na dinagdag natin, which is Luningning. Napadagdag na siya. Okay, yan yung kanyang records. Okay, pagpunta natin kay form, naandyan din si Luningning. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, that is the purpose of macro. Macros makes your record or creating record easier. Creating reports and forms easier without going back to the datasheet to add another record. Using macro, it will create another, or it will add the records on your contacts, on your datasheet, on your forms, or in your reports. Okay, so that is the purpose of macros. Okay, so that is on how to create and testing or running the macro. Okay, just don't forget that once you add a records using the AutoXC or using the macro, once you created or add your contacts or add your records, don't forget to go to the file menu, select close, and then go to the file menu again and then select open, then open your recent activity, which is your database 2, and then it will automatically add your records on your contacts from the datasheet view and from your form. Okay. So, in that way, mapapagana natin or makikita natin yung ating added records o yung pinadagdag na records. Okay. So, hindi siya gagana kung hindi mo gagawin yung step na yon. Go to the file menu, select close, and then go back to the file menu, select open your recent activities, which is your last activities or last access na binuksan mo na merong macro. Okay, so that's it for this week lesson. Thank you and have a good day ahead. Goodbye.